Good morning, anatomy classes. Chapter 15 intro. Amazingly, as crazy as this year has been, obviously, especially over the last month or so, we are 3 chapters away from finishing the entire curriculum that is set forth for this class. 15, 16, and 17 are our last 3 chapters. Chapter 15 is the digestive system. And it's one that's probably, if you walk in a classroom full of younger students and they want to talk about things that interest them from a perspective of their bodies, they'll usually talk about the digestive system. That's one of the things that usually comes up. So hopefully this is something that you have a base knowledge of, and if you don't, I will provide you with everything that you need here over the next couple of weeks, and you'll have a much better knowledge when it's all said and done. Now, digestive system does 4 basic things. 4 basic things. Typically, I'll start off with the anatomy, but what we're going to do is we're going to do the anatomy as we go through the chapter, one step at a time. Digestive system does 4 basic things. And at this point in class, what I would do is I would ask you, what are those 4 things? What do you think of when you think of the digestive system? And 3 of them I think are fairly obvious. We don't really want to rank them in order of they happen or they occur in, or what you would think the importance are. They're all equally important, but there are 4 basic things that the digestive system does. Number 1, and I guess we'll start in kind of an order, is the ingestion of food. Ingestion. All right, what does that mean? Ingest means to bring food into the body. To put food into the body, obviously we put it in through our mouth. And for my dental students, this is obviously a very important part of this chapter, because you are in charge of taking care of those things, the teeth and other structures in the oral cavity that are going to help people not only chew their food, but start the digestive process. So the ingestion of food is obviously very important. If you can't get into the body, then you can't do the other things that needs to happen with it as well. Right? Number 2. Number 2 is what we call the digestion of food. Digestion of food. All right? Obviously, digestion is something that you understand, but what does that mean? Digestion is the chemical and physical breakdown of food. The chemical and physical breakdown of food. Now, if you think back to chapter 2 when we talked about chemistry, chemical and physical properties, chemical and physical processes are things that we delineated and we talked about, we differentiated. When we talk about digestion, that applies as well, and that's going to be a couple big questions, not only in the assignments that I give, but on the assessment at the end of the chapter as well. What does it mean to chemically break down food? What does it mean to physically break down food? I want you to think about that. Take a peek in the notes. There's some information about there in there as well. But when we chemically and physically break down food, cumulatively, we call that digestion. All right, step number 3. Absorption of nutrients. And I'm going to put water in here separately, even though that qualifies as a nutrient as well. Put water in here separately. Absorption of nutrients and water. Now, how does that happen? Now, it's a question you need to ask yourself. It's not a magic process. You don't eat food and then, the Pop-Tart or the cheeseburger doesn't just get, broken up and taken to your cells on little platters. We have to break it down all the way to the level of the individual molecules, in some cases the atoms. And we do that in a number of different ways, which I will discuss with you probably starting in the next lecture that I give for you. But we need to absorb the nutrients. How does it happen? They literally pass through the walls of the small intestine, the large intestine, into the bloodstream, into a system of capillaries, just like it was in chapter 14. We talked about oxygen and carbon dioxide. Absorption is the word too. Absorption with a P, not with a B. Absorption of nutrients. All right, step number 4, the one that everybody always likes to talk about and ask questions about. I'm sure there'd be a number of questions if you guys were here with me, and you're more than welcome to ask those questions on Google Classroom. Processing. processing of indigestible food. Processing of indigestible food. When we look at the digestive system and how it works, basically you take everything you need from the food that you eat. If you have breakfast this morning, you ate a couple pieces of toast and an egg and a glass of orange juice, your body's going to take all the nutrients it can from that food so you can use it for your cells. The stuff that remains never gets into your body. It just stays in your digestive system. Technically, the digestive tract, all the organs, the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, are external structures. I know that sounds strange, they're inside of your body, but they're connected to the outside world. So anything that your body cannot break down or absorb is going to stay in there, and it will be processed a little bit by some bacteria that live in our guts. I'll discuss that a little bit more with you as well. And then obviously your body removes that as fecal matter. So those are your four basic things that the digestive system does: ingestion, digestion, absorption, and processing of indigestible food particles. I will leave the next bit of information for the next lecture, and I will have a few questions posted for you probably within the next few hours or so after you get this video. Have a good day.